Welcome back to the Career Success Academy. I'm Steve, and boy, do we have an important video for you today. Today's video is all about when you're unemployed, and to be honest with you, I think we've all been there at some point in time. When you're unemployed, what can you do with your resume so that when you submit that resume, you're not booted out of the system by the application tracking system? We're going to talk about the difference between an HR person taking a look at your resume and the hiring manager looking at your resume. Let's get started. When you're in a situation where you find yourself unemployed, you're in a situation where you've got to create a resume. You've got to create an opportunity. You may have just graduated from school. You may be looking for your very first job and you've got some limited job experience. Or you could find yourself in a situation where you were laid off. You might find yourself in a position where you were flat out fired, or the place where you were working went bankrupt. All that we know is that you don't have a job right now, you need a job, and you're responding to a job opportunity. Okay, it's a good point for us to start and talk about. Because these days, we find ourselves in situations, and I'm referring, by the way, I had a conversation with a person who works in HR earlier today. And the conversation went like this. HR people get a lot of resumes that are responding to a job opportunity. It's a job posting, they posted it. It's a real live job, but what they're getting back are pro forma resumes where their application tracking system is taking, I'm making up these numbers, but if you got 500 responses, what they're trying to do in HR is to limit those 500, whittle it down to 50, and then take those 50 and whittle it down to 5. But what happens is, each time they whittle down, rather than finding the person who might be outstanding, the person who has the best fit, they find that the application tracking system is looking for the skills that they said, is looking for the keywords that they said, and what they get on the other end are the mediocre, average level person. They fit all the requirements, but they don't stand out. And again, we're just talking about the resumes. So why is this happening? That was the basis for the conversation. And one of the reasons that this happens is it's very easy for you to have your resume on one of these services. Let's just call them services. Or even using LinkedIn's ability to respond to job opportunities, job openings. And you simply hit that apply button and the resume is sent off and we get the situation that I was just talking about. What the conversation was about today was how you have to tailor that resume, customize that resume, and we're going to talk about how to do that or what to put in there in a minute. But understand that on the other end, those 500 resumes that we were talking about are all similar in that they're the lowest common denominator. They all fit the bill, they check the boxes, they come close, but none of them are outstanding. And so what happens is those 500 resumes go down to a pile of 50 resumes, go down to a pile of 5 resumes. The 5 resumes now go to the hiring manager. And the hiring manager is taking a look at the resume. And you know what? They don't like what they see. And they ask for 5 more resumes and ask for 5 more resumes, driving HR a little bit crazy because HR is doing exactly what they were told to do. Where's the disconnect? The disconnect is that the hiring managers are looking for value. They're looking for an asset. They're looking for someone who can contribute to the organization, to the department, to the team, to the hiring manager. The hiring manager wants to look good when they hire somebody. Okay. What does all that mean? What that means is there's a giant disconnect going on, and how you can mitigate that situation is by customizing and tailoring your resume in order to demonstrate the results that you were able to achieve, whether you were achieving them as an intern, whether as an apprentice, as the prior job, because these are the things that the hiring manager is looking for. And it may not appear on what they said to their own HR people. So it's very, very important for you to provide the results. I'm going to call it a different word now. The impact that you had on your prior organization. Now, they may have laid you off, they may have gone bankrupt, they may have flat out fired you, you didn't get along with the person who was your boss, but you still achieved things, you still delivered things, you still made improvements. And what this is all about is that when you're unemployed, for whatever reason, to the hiring manager, that represents a risk. And the only thing that's going to mitigate that risk is you're demonstrating that your value to your prior companies will mitigate the risk of you being unemployed now. Let me say that again. We're talking about value and risk. You're unemployed. Hiring you represents a risk. So, if you're in a situation where your resume, and the purpose of your resume is to get you the interview. So now, knowing this, if you're selected for that interview, you have to focus in on the impact, the results you delivered in your prior career, even if that was at school, even if that was a summer job somewhere. You have to demonstrate, you have to show how that will carry forward to the hiring organization. That's your value. That's you being an asset. And if you're in an interview, you have to focus on this so that the hiring manager can take from your conversation where your value is for the new organization, to assess what the value, even your compensation, should be. This strategy works. It's proven. You have to demonstrate to the hiring manager or team that you have value. And that's more than just a pro forma resume that's sent in, because those are all, like I said, considered pretty average. You have to demonstrate why you have more value. You're the best candidate in the entire pile of 500 resumes. They're giving you that opportunity when they ask you to have an interview. And this will work if you're a brand new entry-level employee, or you're interviewing to be the next CEO of a major corporation. It's all about value. It's all about how you mitigate the risk and how you can deliver results. You can positively impact this new organization, new to you. And this is how you sell yourself, even though you're unemployed. And again, your unemployment may not have been within your control. It may not have been because you underperformed or there was a lack of performance or anything of the sort. Could have been exactly the opposite. Your particular department, division, whatever, was sold to somebody else, and then they replaced all the people who moved over from the one company to the next. It's happened many, many times. Very important to develop a strategy of what it is you want to do. And again, let's just recap for a second. Very important to customize your resume. Very important to understand the value that you bring to this new job opportunity, to all job opportunities, and the value that you've presented to your former employees. And it's very important for you to communicate that value to mitigate the risk of the employer hiring you. Boy, I'm glad you were here today. Remember, the Career Success Academy is here for you to help you get that next job, that next position, to advance your career. These are stressful times. So please like this video and share this video with other people that you think might have some benefit from watching this. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And very important for you to check the bell, because that's going to tell you when we post our next video. Again, this is important stuff. Being unemployed in these days is very, very stressful. There are strategies, and we're going to talk about more of them. So please, stay tuned. I'm awfully glad you were here today. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.